Welcome to Joydala Fashion Guide. In today's video, I'm going to be learning how to make a best sleeve with double flare like the one you're seeing in that picture. First of all, you will need your measurement. You need the sleeve length and first, the sleeve is in two parts. We have the basic sleeve and then we have the flare side of the sleeve. So you will need the length of the basic sleeve and then you also need the length of the flare. You need the length of the flare as well. And then you need to draft your basic sleeve first. After drafting your basic sleeve, you are going to be attaching the flare to it. Now, the measurement, you need your sleeve length, you need the bicep round, and of course your arm round, bicep or arm round, and then you need your armhole length. You need your armhole length as well. So first you draft your basic sleeve. So after you have gotten your basic sleeve like this, using your measurement, you can check my channel on how to draft a basic sleeve. Then you also cut out the lining. This particular sleeve is going to have a band. The length of this upper side of this sleeve, the length of this basic sleeve is 9 3/4, but we want the total length to be 11. So we are going to be adding a band. I've used this to cut out the bands. We are using this satin for the band. So the arm round or the bicep round, you measure it. You take the measurement and then you cut out the band that you are going to use. This band is going to be on fold. You're going to be cutting it into two like this. So the length I have here is 18 and the width is 6. So by the time we cut it into two, we are going to be having 3 inches. We need ½ inch to join it to this made fabric, and we also need ½ inch to join it to the flare. So at the end of the day, we are going to be left with 2 inches. So by the time we add the band to this, we'll have our complete length. So the band is going to be 2 because it is 2 sleeve. So you cut out 2 of this one. This is 18 by 6. So use your own measurement. Then we are going to be ironing interfacing on these parts that we are using for the band. So I have a soft interfacing the paper stay. So we are going to use hot iron to attach it to it. So after we have ironed it on it, then we can now cut it into 2, and then I will show you how to attach it to the basic sleeve. Then for the flare part of this, for the bare sleeve, the armhole round, or the arm round, or around the arm, that is our circumference. Okay, so you measure it, you measure yours, you measure it like this. For me, I have 11. You measure it and you divide it by 6.28 to get the radius. So you take your round arm or your bicep round, then you divide it by 6.28, and that will give you the radius. Then the next thing is to determine The next thing is to determine the length of flare. I'm going to be having 2 layers of flare. So the first layer, I've cut it as 9.5. So after sewing, it's going to be 8.5. And then this is the other layer, the Ankara fabric. I have a length of 7 inches. So when I'm through, it's going to be 6 inches. So this part is the circumference, the armhole round. Okay, so we are not going to cut it open. So to cut it out, I hope you know how to cut the circle flare. You can also watch my video on how to cut that, but I'll just demonstrate. So to cut out a flare, you get your fabric, you fold it into 2 like this, and then you fold again. You fold again like this. Then the next thing you want to do is to put your radius. Assuming the radius is 2, you mark it like this. So after you have marked it like that, you now take the length of flare that you want. If it is 9 or if it is 8. Okay, let's say 6. You now measure it out. 6. 6. You keep marking 6. 6. 6. 6. So you now cut here out, and you cut here out. And by the time you are through, you're going to have this. You see it? By the time you cut it out, you will have this. Okay, so you will use this to cut another one because it is 2 sleeve. So you have this and this. Okay, then after cutting out the Ankara fabric that you are using, the other fabric that you want to use, you fold it. You fold it into 2 and then into 4. So after folding, you place the one that you have already cut and calculated. You place it on it like this, and then you just simply increase the length. Okay, so by the time you increase the length and cut it out, you're going to have something like this. So you will cut 2. You see it? So this and this will go together. Sorry. This and this are together. See that they are the same. Then this and this are also together. So after you have done that, you use this Ankara fabric that you are going to use it to cut out a lining like this. Then identify the right side and the wrong side of the fabric. This is the wrong side, this is the right side. You place the lining on it like this, facing the right side. So let's see the right side facing each other. Place it on it like this. So you can always trim out the excess that you have. Trim out the excess. And then you're going to sew here down. You stitch here down. You stitch here down. Then we turn it. So that is how you are going to sew the 2 sleeves. Using 1/2 inch sewing allowance. So you sew here down. You also sew here down. After you have done, you repeat that for the second sleeve. After you have done that, you bring it out like this and iron it. You bring it out like this and iron it. So once your band is ready, we'll tell you what next to do. So get this ready, get your band ready, go and iron interfacing on it. You need to iron interfacing on the band. I'll iron interfacing on there, cut it into two. When I've done that, I'll bring it back to show you what we have. Then for this Ankara fabric, we are not using lining to line the fabric. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the cutting bias to turn the hem. So you get a cutting bias. That is what I'm going to use to turn the hem. Okay. We are also going to use cutting bias to turn this one as well. So after prepping them like that, I'll come back to show you what we have before we think of how to couple everything together. Very simple way of making the sleeve. So our band is ready. I've sewn in the lining and I've ironed it. We have turned the hem of the two flip. And I've also ironed it. So I'm going to be joining this together. You can use a stitch to hold it in place. This is how you are going to attach it to the basic sleeve. It will be like this, two step. We'll also do same for this, for the other sleeve. And then we are going to be attaching a band. To do that, we pick our band like this. This is how it's going to look like this. So place it like this, and then we put the other one like this with the sleeve in between. And then we are going to sew it down with 1/2 inch seam allowance. Usually use skin to roll it so that you see what it looks like. So when we are through, we'll flip it to this side like this. We'll also flip this. And then we'll iron it down. Of course, you are going to we'll close up the side so that it can be neat like this. Close up the side. Also close up the side. You want to close up the side, just fold this in so that you don't sew on top. Then you close up the side. And after that, you now bring it out like this. Then you iron it down. After ironing, you fold it into two like this. And then you take the bicep measurements. Mine is 7 inches. You take 7 inches here. Then you measure your armhole length. You measure your armhole length, you mark it. You measure the bicep round, you mark it. Then you connect with a straight line. So you are going to sew with a straight line. So after sewing, that is when you are going to attach this to this. Okay, and then that will be all. our belt sleeve will be ready. So I'll quickly do that now. Join the side, iron it down, then fold it in like this. You take your armhole length, the bicep round, you connect it, you join it, and then it is that one we are going to join to the sleeve. So I'll show you the final look. The final look of our belt sleeve. Okay, I've come to the end of the video.